everyone. I hope you all are doing well. Well, recently the learners of Creative Minds had visited Karnataka Chitrakala Parishad, and it was a day well spent with art, around art, and learning about art more than what we end up learning in our classes. Well, we were also very thankful to the Euphoria group of artists, that is, artist Anis Anji, artist Anita, and artist and celebrity Jennifer. The learners of Creative Minds not only had fun, but they also got to witness a live demo by the artist Anis Anji, who showed a very wonderful painting in just a very limited given time. And in that time, he showed that how a beautiful and an amazing artwork can be created. A plain white paper can be converted into beauty of nature. So, once again, I'm very thankful to Karnataka Chitrakala Parishad, to the group of artists of Euphoria, and especially to artist Anis Anji to take out his time for the learners of Creative Minds and show this demo with watercolor medium. Because in this demo, when the work was going on, the learners had a lot of queries, which we often don't end up asking in classes. And this was the opportunity for these learners to actually get into the heads of the artist and understand from them that how different work can be created and how an artist thinks while they are working on their artwork, with their artwork, along their artwork. So it was an amazing experience for the entire Creative Minds team. And I'm also thankful to all the parents, all the learners who could be present on that particular day and be with all of us. So now I would request to all of you to continue watching the video, as the next is the demo by artist Anis Anji. Thank you. First of all, thank you so much everybody, all those who could make it, and thank you to the parents who brought them. And as I already mentioned outside that what we are going to do today, so let me introduce you to the three artists. This is Anis Anji, who's also a very good friend of mine. He's a watercolor specialist artist, and he's from Kerala, and you can ask him anything you want. It's up to him. I'm sure he wants. And then
not everything, but whatever related to what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Probably now I know much of it. So I can do what I'm doing.
Yeah. Then we have Jennifer. Jennifer Anthony. She is also a film star. So we are present here with a celebrity too. And then we have Anita, who's here, there. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank these three beautiful artists to give us this opportunity, wherein the students and the learners of Creative Minds could come and learn something from you all. So thank you so much. I would leave the floor to you all. Whatever comes in your mind, you get exactly 15 minutes to draw.
What difference it makes with watercolor and oil paint or acrylic? How is it different from that? Anybody? Any idea? Tell me. Sorry? Can we be a little louder?
Watercolor is a liquid medium.
Exactly.
And oil paste is solid.
Okay. Oil paste is different. That is a dried media. Acrylic and oil paint are also, you can make it as a liquid, but then the main difference are these two, acrylic and oil paint, are supposed to be opaque. Watercolor is supposed to be transparent. That means whatever you draw on the paper, you can still see it. When you do an acrylic paint, you will not see what is there in the paper. Okay, that's the one thing. Second, most of the time, acrylic and oil paints, we mix the color on palette, then we apply it on the canvas. But the beauty of watercolor is like the colors are mixed on the paper. it is being transported by the the medium of watercolor is water. The water transports the pigments and it gets blend and bleed through it. It gets mixed up and come out with a different color what even we could never even imagine. That's the beauty of watercolor. And usually for watercolor we keep a slanting of 30 degrees. Okay, this is almost horizontal.
Please note down this, the angle of 30 degree, almost horizon.
This is horizontal and it becomes a little difficult because the paper will be wet and it will carry the water very fast. So I need to work out very fast and quick. So any disturbance in between, probably I'll mess up with the color.
So if you can also tell them what kind of work or technique that you will be using.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. Basically, the watercolors are on different washes. There are quite a few washes. Basically, they do it. There is a graduated wash, flat wash, and different washes are there. I'm just going to teach you how the wash happens. Let's first begin with wetting the paper. This is called wet on wet technique. Where the water will be wet, the paper will be wet, and your brush will also be wet, and your paint will also be wet. So controlling these things according to whatever we want, the image what we are going to get. It's slightly difficult, but that is the real talent of an artist life. That's the challenge in fact. The watercolor.
You have to also see how slowly and smoothly he's moving the brushes. Okay, it's just not going like fast. So even if you are using any medium, be it color pencil, be it oil pastels, be it acrylic, you have to go smooth and slow, which we always tell you. Because if you go fast, then in that what happens? You may not get the correct angle. Right? And that may spoil the look of your work. If any questions, do raise your hand.
Now I have wet the paper. Let the paper soak, take the thing inside. Leaving for 2-3 seconds. Yeah.
See, the paper needs to absorb water. Alright? Even when we start with oil pastels, as most of you are here who uses oil pastels, do we start with a darker layer or a lighter layer?
Lighter.
Why do we do that? So that when you are using the lighter layer, in that what happens, your paper is getting used to the colors. So the texture of the paper starts becoming smoother. Right? Uske baad when you use the dark colors or the second layer and blending and mixing, your paper is ready. Same way in watercolor, we have to bring the paper to life. So in order to make it into life, you have to add water before.
Alright, now apply the color of it. First I'm starting with the lighter color. This is a yellow. Okay. As I keep going, I change the color to a little more brighter or warmer. I'm using little red to it so that and the end I'm using blue.
Also notice how lightly he's applying the colors. The application of colors are not dark, right? And once it will dry, it will become further light.
The next thing I'm going to do is keep it upside down. So that
He just lifted the paper and turned it
it
upside
just
down.
flows down or it blends or it bleeds in between the colors.
The reason this has been done is the entire blue is going to flow down, get mixed with yellow, and wherever the water stops, it is going to create its own beautiful marks. Sometimes in painting, we don't have to do much, especially if you're working with watercolor mediums. All those who are working with watercolor mediums, please pay attention. Sometimes you have to let water create its own flow. Sometimes you have to allow water to create its own mark and dry like that. Because the blend that you but one of the most beautiful medium.
This is the basic background which I have created. Now we can think about doing whatever own thing.
So can you see why you left a white space over there?
Here,
Yes, sir.
this is actually not me. I mean the water.
Okay, we thought that you might be adding something.
Look very tender.
We call it as like happy accidents. Sometimes it will not work the way what we wanted. We leave it like that, and probably when we come back in the later stage we can create something else on that. So that's another kind of advantage what we get.
You all do this with oil pastel also and with graphite also. Sometimes you want to shade somewhere, but you tend to forget. Or you're smudging somewhere and you smudge a little more. But the end result turns out to look good. And then you figure out kya karna hai, what needs to do.
Now again I'm returning down because I'm just getting a horizon line. Now here see it spreads. That gives an impression of a very distant trees which is there. These textures I didn't create. It is the paper and the water itself has created. I cannot do this. It's only the paper can or the water itself will create the texture. Can you see some very far distant trees? I have used a little stronger paint so that you all can see. Actually, it shouldn't be that strong. Only so. Now, draw a line.
Please pay attention to how he's also holding the brush. Okay? Because when he was drawing the line, he was very careful, right? And since he's bringing it towards his body, so the hand is going like this. The fingers aren't touching the paper. Okay, these are few tricks. When a lot of people look at the video, they feel that the finger is touching the paper.
What
But
am I doing now?
that's not there.
I'm just lifting a little one finger line out of this.
So he's using broken line technique, is what you will
So
understand.
that itself creates the reflection of the trees in the water.
Okay, so sir, here is a question that when you flipped the notebook, okay, you flipped the color, and the other side is also wet, and you don't want the water to flow there. So how do you control that?
See, when I wanted to go this side, so I pushed it down, right?
Right.
And leaving this part, dry or without having.
Pay attention to this one. In water paint, you are dealing with paper. Okay? In paper, what happens? Consider you are using color pencil, and you have sharpened the color pencil way too much, and you have ghassified on your paper like crazy. So it will become full dusty, and the moment you take your paper like this to like this, the entire dust will fall. But will it fall on the entire paper, or will it fall the way it wants to fall wherever it gets the smooth texture? So same thing applies for water painting. If the paper isn't wet completely, color will not flow. But if the water is in a very flowy way, that means too much of excessive water is there, then water never falls like this. It just falls wherever it wants. It will make its own line and curves. I'll share one of the videos of my wet on wet. You all can see that water falls on its own. So wherever there will be dry gaps, water does not go there. This is something that is beautiful of nature. Water doesn't go there. Water just leaves leaves that area and paint falls only in the water. Clear?
This is Padmaja. She's my student and my friend. So she's my assistant here today.
Yeah, on birthday you deserve an assistant. See, right now the paper is taking its time to not only absorb water but also absorb color. Yes.
Paper is getting dry.
So paper is getting dry, we have to make it dry.
This is the second wash you're going.
Because if on top of this you apply another color, none of the colors will be visible. It will become a smudgy mess. That's why whether it is any medium, we go layer by layer. We wait for one layer to blend into another layer. Right?
Amrita was asking me about why this has happened.
Yes.
It was not designed or it was not planned in the beginning. But now I'm going to create something over there. There's a line which is happening.
So an happy accident being turned into a piece of land. So it is, since it has come up in that way, I think Dhriti, one of your painting had a piece of land in the corner which had a lot of clouds in it. I will share that painting of Dhriti with everyone. It was also put up in one of the exhibitions. Yeah, in that aesthetic online. Even in that see, this is what people are busy with what they're all participating. So if you can just tell them what exactly you did in the piece of land which got the brown and the green and the yellowish
Brown
color.
is something like, there's a land or the mud marks on it. And the green on that will be the greeneries or vegetation what we have.
So can you tell me how you got that kind of a mix and the blend? And especially the...
Yeah, you want to know the colors?
No, not the colors, especially because see, if you'll notice, this has a slanting land effect. And this is the brown area which gives the effect of it, like it's a plain land or a plateau kind of an effect. So you can just explain that how you got this, even though you used horizontal strokes, but still there's a difference of, it gives a 3D kind of an effect.
Right.
So if you can just explain that technique.
Because every time when you see it, you will see like the upper part will be sliding down and coming to the bottom part which will be parallel with the ground. So that's what exactly what I see here is parallel to the shore. And the upper part is slightly like a hilly station that will create a better idea. Now,
So if I can put it in simple words, if you see the table, okay, this comes down, this goes horizontal. It's not necessary every time you have to paint vertically or horizontally. It's the depth of the color, what you did first and how the top layer is flowing on it. Right? So the way it is flowing, it shows that it's a fall like this.
now let me show you some technique which is rarely people will show.
Yeah.
This is with the plastic card, whatever plastic card. If you would like to create some rock kind of a thing, what do you do with it?
Come here.
Cracked out.
It's basically scraping. You're scraping the paint from the paper when the paper is wet.
Right. And it is
That is any card you can use, even your broken. But the oil pastel scrapers आता है ना? Those camel scrapers you can also use. I told you to play with it.
now we have come to the tricks of rocks.
I'll tell you. So see how beautifully, without doing any painting, just by removing the color, scraping away the color, you've got the rocks. Nothing sharp, because anything sharp will tear your
No, you
paper.
need to be very, very careful. The paper is there and it you are going to follow, and there should be a particular wetness on the paper, not too wet, not too dry. It requires a lot of the timing accuracy. Just giving a dark shade down so that to create a
Okay, can anybody tell why is he giving a dark shade here? Anybody over here can tell why is he adding a dark shade here? Yes, Sparsh. Sparsh, can you be specific when you say shadow? Sparsh. But is it falling on the land or it's falling on water? So what will it be called? Will it be called shadow?
Reflection.
It will be called reflection. Right, Aradhana? Same answer? Or if you have any other answer, then say.
I thought that those were the stones.
Yeah, those were the stones, but he's adding a little dark shade below, right?
Yes, but because it's grey, the stones usually are grey.
That's actually a good way of looking at it, that some stones are always seen inside water flowing. So yeah, sir, you have an idea here. See, even though he said that he will have to do it very fast because the water may fall and all that, still, he is going very patiently. Okay? Water paint is not something, or in fact, for the matter, any medium. It's not that you have to finish it like this. It's like finishing it with the right methods and techniques. Okay?
What else you want to do now? I mean, anything else? Your wish.
Does anybody want to add anything?
Can we have a few palm trees over here? It's very empty. Sunset mountain.
No, can you add sunset to it? Think and say. Especially senior students. Okay, senior students, if you all can tell me, there. Senior students, if you all can tell me, what exactly can be added or not added? Shloka, since you work a lot with scapes, all kinds of scapes. Maybe a boat or a tree.
Exactly. Boat can be added. Tree can be added.
Perfect. Charming. Like a far off mountain. Okay. Any other ideas? This kids, intermediate? Yes, Aru?
You could add a fresh
Rising
rising moon.
moon. How do you think moon will?
The daytime.
No, he's asking moonrise.
A bit of like in the mornings, if you can see, sometimes you can see a very light moon.
So you mean to say the time when the dawn is there?
Yeah, when the dawn is just coming.
So not the dusk, the dawn. Like when sun is rising and moon is setting. Will it go with the violet background?
When the moon is rising and the sun is.
So dusk. Will it go with the violet background? Because when sun is setting, it's more of a orangish. But a good idea. Yes, Aradhana?
Can we add
It's okay. Think.
birds?
Birds. Sir, can we add some birds? Okay, can anybody tell me? See, he's painting a tree right now, right?
We can add water like
Water to help. It's already.
water plants.
See, he's adding, obviously, which is like a coconut tree or a palm tree. But is the end of the tree visible?
No.
Or from where the leaves are coming, is that visible? Can anybody tell me why? I'm asking a lot of questions now. See, he's drawing, he's making trees. Correct? But we don't know where the tree is ending and from where the leaf is coming. We just see a part of the leaf. Why? Think hard on perspective. Think hard on viewing angle. Somebody else. Really? Very good.
What was the answer?
He said the reason we are not able to see where the tree is ending and we are just able to see the part of the leaf is because the place where the viewer is standing, and from there the end of the tree isn't visible, because that will almost become like more than 2-point perspective and you are watching more than your above eye level view. Yes? Yes, Jagat?
Kenny had dolphins.
Kenny had dolphin. A very cute idea, Jagat.
Who was the one?
We'll try to incorporate a dolphin. Like this one. You got to see the perspective is different. Here the horizon is way up. In this, the one that has this painting, the horizon is different. So you can't have so close because the sand beach is invisible. Right? What are you asking? You are on camera, please answer. I unnecessarily scold you. They are more convinced. Okay, I'll come there and I'll ask you. Not a bad idea actually. We can do it fossils. He wants a T-Rex. Attention over there. Huh? Because I'm going to ask a lot of questions in next class. Yes. That's not for your feet. Yes, Sandeep. Louder, louder. Move your mask. Just remove your mask and then talk. Yeah. What is? Lotus. Lotus may not come here because lotus is generally lakes and ponds, and also the water is very much like in a concentrated way. The lotus, if we have to add, we can add lotus ka colors, the leaves of the lotus and all, but it's mostly in a concentrated way. It's not like
It will be in still water.
yeah. Close area like a pond, lake. Outside your house, if you put a big, container in that, you put water there.
Maybe we can draw some part of land of the mainland.
Let's leave it to him. We've given him a lot of ideas. Let's see what he does. Honestly, I've never seen my class so quiet. Yes, you can. All those who are talking and not watching, there are a lot of questions which will go unanswered. So here it is, more or less.
Yeah, it's over for the time being. And anything else you want to know? I mean, if you put more, many things you spoil the painting.
He's telling you here, if you add anything more to it, the look of the painting will get spoiled. You don't want to know why?
The
Why,
most,
ma'am?
You all should ask him. Anis, we have a question here.
yeah, sure.
Why is the we should not add one more?
You said that if we add anything more, it will spoil the look. So the question is
What
why?
happens is every time to make a picture beautiful, you need to have some focus. A lot of people have to look at it. If you keep everything scattered here and there, so many things, what will happen? You lose the focus of the painting. Okay. As you grow up, probably she'll teach you the composition and where the focus has to be done, all those things. So for the time being, you just understand that if you keep so many things, your eyes will start wandering all through the paintings, wherein you lose the purpose of the painting. Whatever you want to draw. Here, what happens is this part becomes focused. Okay, actually, it should happen here, but since I just pushed it a little bit, still people look at this area. These are all, why I made it very dull or vague. It's not obvious, the distant trees. Because that is not important in this picture, but that's also important to show that there is something over there. But our focus is on what is there in the foreground or in the middle ground. Have you followed what I
Understood?
Probably you know it.
Following the elements of art, the rhythm, the melody, the composition, the way it moves. And you will understand.
Any more questions?
Any other questions? So can we all put our hands together for Anis sir and Pachaja ma'am? And can we have a picture with you and Anita
Why not? Why
ma'am
not?
and Jennifer ma'am?
Yeah.
And can we all stand up, all the kids?
I'm just restless to have one.
I know.
Achha, one more
All
thing.
my learners, can you please come?
One more thing, if you have not noticed, some of the things are little brighter or the warmer color. Some of them are darker. Is there any reason for that?
Ma'am, sir, because there's more moonlight or sunlight from the...
Well, you are right. It's not moonlight, sunlight. Actually, some of the leaves which is out of the cluster will catch the sunlight. So we need to show that the sunlight is falling there. But some of them are there in the shadow. But still the shape will be there, but it will not be bright.
Can it also be some dry leaves?
Dry
leaves?
You can do it. But I think this is done.
This is done, yes.
Let's not spoil it if you keep on adding.
उसके बगल में पड़ो।
अच्छा भैया।
अरे पेंटिंग दिखना चाहिए।
मैं
अरे दोनों दिखना चाहिए। So thank you so much.